Hey, it's Mixi from Stitched Up Heart, and you're listening to the Brutally Delicious Podcast.
How are you, Mixi?
Oh, I'm doing awesome. I just moved into a house, and I have a ton of, they're putting sod down in the backyard and painting and all this nice stuff. So it's been a crazy day, and I kind of got sidetracked.
No worries at all. I appreciate you taking the time. Where are you at? Are you out in LA then?
I have a feeling that a new house is probably more important than Bruce. I wouldn't know about me, but more important than Bruce.
Oh, man.
No, it's crazy. I mean, I know all of this stuff is going on, but in the middle of it, we've been working on getting that home for like 5 years now. And it just happened to be at this weirdest time in the whole world. So,
wow.
But we made it happen, and now we're like homeowners.
That's beautiful. How are you making out? Yes.
Thanks.
How are you making out in all this nonsense? You guys holding up okay?
Yeah, you know, I'm pretty good at trying to turn everything into a positive. And as soon as the tour got postponed, I hit up the kitten rescue that I foster kittens with, and was like, "Help! I need kittens! Like, give me some kittens to watch." And I've been learning how to make cupcakes, which I think I'm burning. Hold on. Yeah, no, they're good. Like a couple of more minutes. But, yeah, so, I mean, I'm trying to turn everything into a positive, and I know that all of this, when it blows over, there'll be good that comes out of it, so we just gotta look for the good stuff.
Yeah, I think the technology and the creativity, even though everybody's locked in and it sucks and the whole thing, but I think the creativity and the technology that's going to come out of all this is going to be pretty amazing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're definitely writing some music in the meantime, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of... I mean, this is what musicians do. We're built for this kind of thing. We always, go on tour, come home and write. Go on tour, come home and write. So what are we supposed to do in this time? Come home and write.
Right.
That's just kind of how it works, So I feel like as an artist, especially because it's such a unstable career choice.
Right.
We're built for this, We're built to be able to figure out how to make ends meet off really unreliable, unsustainable income. So I haven't had any issues. I know that there's a lot of people like roadies and crew and stuff like that, some of the bigger kind of tours that, the bus drivers, the people that rent the buses out, the venues, the bars, stuff like that.
Sure.
Those promoters, they're the ones having a pretty hard time. But I feel maybe I'm lucky. I don't know. I just feel like I still have people that support us, and they make everything okay.
That's awesome. Are you guys doing anything in particular to stay engaged with your fans during this weird downtime?
Oh, yeah. We've been doing a weekly Facebook Live. I think we might switch over to Instagram, try that out, because our drummer is actually in Pennsylvania. His parents are getting up there in age, and they keep falling down, and they have their gallbladder removed, and they're just he's being a good son and going to take care of them. But we want to get him on camera on Instagram Live so that we can have everybody together. And we're doing that. We're trying to do question of the days. When I haven't been super busy, I try to post that every day. But yeah, I mean, I try to connect with everybody as much as possible. I'm also playing World of Warcraft with a lot of the fans when I have a minute.
Right.
So when there's some downtime, I get on the game and I hit up some of the fans that play, and so we all go and quest together. So we're still connecting. Obviously, it's not as much as we would like to connect. We want to be there and see people, and I want to hug someone. I just want to hug someone.
Right.
But I think I'm just hugging more than anything.
All right. Chris, you got anything?
Well, no, it is such a strange time, Like me personally being a recording engineer, my life hasn't changed that much. I just don't go to the grocery store as often. But for a lot of people, I know for my wife, for instance, it's really changed her life a lot. And like you say, musicians are kind of built for this type of thing to happen, because if you're going to have nothing to do, you're going to sit down and write anyways. kind of a normal thing to do. How is it affecting like your family around you? Are they doing okay?
Yeah, so my mom and my little sister work in home care for elderly, so they go to the houses, and they're pretty much, they've had some scares where they take care of a couple old people a day that can't take care of themselves. And
Right.
if one of the nurses catches it, then that nurse has also been with every patient that's been with every other nurse, and it turns into a snowball. Luckily, we had a big scare thinking that it was going around, and fortunately, nobody tested positive for it, but, I do have some friends that did have it. I forced one of them to go to the hospital because he hates hospitals, and like, you need to go because if it gets to your lungs, then it can kill you,
Yeah.
And because I had another friend of ours, a really close friend, that I didn't even know that he went to the hospital and told me these horror stories about what it was like there, and he's like, you just don't want to catch this. Even if you're going to survive it, you don't want to catch it.
Right.
It's pretty bad. For me, I'm pretty good at being a hermit in general. So like, I'm a homebody. I will find stuff to do around the house. And I've been just staying out of the way. And like you said, kind of going to the grocery store here and there. I am going to go and fly to Indiana to write with one of our producers on May 18th. We're going to lock ourselves in a house for a week and see what we come up with.
Cool.
Yeah, we were supposed to do it in April, and that kind of got moved around a little bit. So he just bought a home out in Indiana. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to come out there and visit you. I know that I have that entire week just dedicated to making music, and I look forward to things like that.
Okay.
That's awesome. The internet really has changed the way people are working. Like if this had happened 20 years ago, it would have been a completely different scenario with the schools closing down and stuff. But this is really, like, my parents, who could barely even use the internet before.
Right.
Suddenly they're like virtually hanging out with people, and it's empowering artists to do things they wouldn't normally have done. Are you guys planning on doing any cover songs or anything like that, or?
Personally, I don't like doing covers. I don't know if you've noticed, we haven't really done any, unless it's asked for us, because I don't know, I like creating stuff straight from scratch, and I don't feel connected to a song that I didn't write. So, we did do some stuff to try to get in some films. I don't know if they made it or not. I haven't seen the money, so I'm assuming no. But I don't know. We're just writing, we're working on the next record and seeing what we can come up with since we have some time. We just released our album, so there's not really a rush. But because we have all this time, we might as well get a head start,
Sure.
Well, yeah, I was looking at your website, and it looks like you have quite a few dates starting in July. Are those still a go, do you think, or are you just kind of holding up, hoping they're still going to happen?
As far as I know, I think Incarceration Festival was in July, and I think they
that got canceled.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one got canceled. Pretty much we were on like 9 festivals this year, which have all been either canceled or we're still hoping, fingers crossed for later, but none of us really know what's going to happen. They're waiting out as long as they can to try to, see if anything starts opening up, but stuff like that. But I think just like the way it closed down, where the festivals or the shows and stuff were the first things to close because there's so many people in such close vicinity. I think those are also going to be the last ones to open, just the way that it closed down. The parks will probably be first, start opening, stuff like that. California is a little weird because our governor is being very, very strict on it, which, I kind of agree with because it's kind of like lives on the line, and the quicker you open things up, the more you could hurt the whole thing we've been trying to stop,
Right.
But,
Absolutely.
yeah, I hope that, we're still practicing and stuff. I have rehearsal on Saturday, we moved everything over to a new rehearsal space inside our house. So we're going to have serious jam band garage, like for reals. And I haven't had that since I was like in high school.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So cool.
We were living in the city in Los Angeles, and we had to rent a studio there. We just moved a little on the outskirts and got a house with a 3-car garage where we could put our band trailer, we could put all our gear. I'm thinking of building like a deck in the backyard to put a stage on.
Nice.
That's what I would do.
The neighbors would love it.
Oh, I'm sure. Like, I haven't quite introduced ourselves yet. Hey, here's some cupcakes. Also, we're in fans, so we're allowed to text.
Right.
Yeah. Don't call the cops. Text me first.
Yeah. So I haven't quite gone there yet. I don't know if they want cupcakes from their new neighbor in the middle of a pandemic, but
Yeah.
here's my poisonous cupcakes. Would you like some?
I didn't breathe on them. I saw the funniest meme today. Remember back in the day when we used to eat cakes people blew on?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Nice.
It's gonna be a
you
whole
watch
different,
TV,
you know.
you watch TV and you see somebody shake hands and you're like, oh my God, what are they doing? That was like literally 3 months ago. It's crazy.
No, I really think that kind of stuff is going to change. I think that with bands, like, you know, me, I usually go out to the merch table. I give everybody a hug. And I think I started recently kind of stopping doing that a little because it got a little weird. There were some incidents that were probably unsafe.
Right.
Yeah.
And I stopped doing it as much. And this might change a lot of the bands that go out there and do stuff. You know, the last tour, I went out a couple times and I ended up getting strep throat. So it was like, you know, you can get sick so easily on the road with different climates. I definitely think some of the bands that would usually go out there and mingle and stuff and are going to kind of be a little more reserved, and you're going to see a lot more VIP action go on.
Yeah, I'm just curious what shows and festivals and how all that comes back, knowing what we know now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's gonna.
know.
I don't know what that's gonna turn out to be. Is it gonna be like a mosh pit with everybody with masks on, or have we seen the end of that sort of thing? I don't know how it's gonna work out. Or drive-in concerts, or something like that.
Oh yeah. It's really awesome. I'm trying to think of. I was talking to my manager the other day. I'm like, how can we make that happen?
Yeah.
So I think it would cost more money than it would to put together. You know.
Maybe, I know, because they're doing like drive-in churches and drive-in movies and pretty much drive-in everything at the moment. So that may be a way to get around it.
Oh,
The other thing is, you know, all the venues where these shows happen rely on liquor sales. And if you have to wear a mask, the venue can't open because you won't be able to buy a drink.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. How do you drink your mask? Still get masks with straw holes in them.
There's so many parts to the whole thing that I guess nobody's really even thought of yet.
Yeah.
I think the benefit of this, though, is that we're going to see a massive technological revolution, not only in science, but in art as well. You know, people are so creative, and they always find ways to do what they want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I also think there's going to be a change in the way that we eat as far as, like, the meat production. I know that already China is changing. They took dogs off of the livestock menu. They're altering some of their, like, fats and stuff. Obviously, they're, you know, second-guessing whether or not some of those kind of animals should be on the menu. So,
Right.
it might, you know, I know some of the pork companies have shut down in America because some of the people in the companies got the virus, and obviously you get the virus working with meat that everybody's going to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's going to change a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
hopefully we get more vegetarians out of this.
So,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, I do. So you guys have been, I mean, I'm looking at been doing a little research earlier. You guys have been at this 10 years now. You ever imagine you'd still be doing this, or was it just kind of as it went?
I can't imagine doing anything else. But at the beginning of the band, I mean, when the band first started, I put it together because I had just gotten dropped from the label, and I, I thought it was over, and I was going to go, drive back to Florida from LA and give up and everything. And my parents were like, no, you can't quit. You got to finish what you started. So I went back out and I stitched up my heart back together and put the band together. I was like, okay, I have the concept. I'm going to see how this goes. And almost within like 2 or 3 months of being a band, everybody quit. So
wow.
Again, I was like, great. This is going well. I didn't think it would last 10 years, that's for sure, but I just kept going because we would book our own. For the first 5 years of being a band, I would route out the tour. We would contact every venue in the area, just blast email everyone. Just let us play in your building. At least give us gas money and we'll be happy,
Right.
Some drinks and some gas money, we're good to go. And then we would just go from venue to venue and for about 5 years, and then we started actually, there were times we didn't play to anybody. Like, there were times even the sound guy wasn't there. Nobody in the entire venue in Jersey. And now, that place, a couple hundred people come out. So it just takes time. Nothing happens really, really fast. At most bands, take Imagine Dragons, for example. They've been around a long time before they finally, hit it really big.
Right.
But nobody really knew that, and so everybody kind of thought they were just a brand new band. But it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of footwork, and it takes a lot of dedication. And, the guys in the band right now are all 100% dedicated, and they always do anything that they need to do for the band in a drop of a hat. So, I don't ever see it ending. I don't ever see us doing one of those fake last tour things. This is
right.
my last tour as a band. I will take this band in my grave.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is very awesome. So, Chris, you got anything else?
I don't. Thank you so much for calling us back.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I saw a Virginia number. I was running around trying to make cupcakes, doing all the stuff, and I thought it might have been a telemarketer today.
Oh, yeah.
And then I went back and looked at the voicemail. I'm like, oh, shoot, because I didn't check my email on all my interviews today. So
no worries.
I appreciate you guys taking the time, and I appreciate you guys, chatting with me.